There we go. Messy beard and all. Hey, everybody. Hello. Okay. Oh, God. I gotta wear these glasses. What is going on? What is up? What is happening? Hey! Hi, guys! Wait. Isn't Friday Night SmackDown on? Why are y'all on here? What's going on? Yo, what's up? I figured I was going to go ahead and do a YouTube versus Twitter space because I'm still worried. Oh, he's like, oh, so you got the night off? The kids are gone? Sarah, what are you going to do? Hey, Juan. So I was going to do, okay, so the reason I haven't done Twitter space in a hot minute is because Twitter space has been giving me issues. And to be honest with you, hey, Lakina. Okay, let me see. Sarah said, I'm binging watching Netflix. What are you watching on Netflix? And you eating a bowl of Skittles? Girl, I had some Skittles yesterday. The Night Agent. Okay. I'm taking requests on shows to watch because until whenever, I actually have a week. Well, I can't say I have the weekend off because I have something to take care of. And then tomorrow, blessed be, hopefully, pray for me, y'all. I will meet William Shatner tomorrow. So fingers crossed, pray for me. Hey, Joy. Okay, the Night Agent. Like, okay, so give me the gist of the Night Agent. Is it like a comedy? Is it a dramedy? It's, yeah. Oh, I didn't tell y'all this. Oh, shoot. Hi. Okay, so here's what's happening. So some of you guys know that I'm a huge, soap fan. Y'all know this, right? Some of you guys know I'm a huge wrestling fan. Right? Some of you guys know I like football. But y'all know that I'm a real geek when it comes down to like sci-fi and everything. So every year, Monster Mania Conventions has a MonsterCon here in Maryland. And it was every year, but now they decided to do it twice a year. So the first one is going to be, well, it started tonight and it ends Sunday, and it has Christina Ricci. It has who else is there? Some other people, but the main attraction, not offending to anybody else, is William freaking Shatner. And I want to meet William freaking Shatner. I want to meet Captain Kirk, TJ Hooker, Danny Crane, the face that the mask of Mike Myers, like seriously. So I was going to go tonight after work, but I was really tired. You guys, this week, I was drained this week. I'll share that story in a minute. But yeah, I was going to take a picture with him because he's only doing he's not doing selfies at the table. Some of the stars don't do selfies and some don't. And his photo, his pro photo, and by the way, he has the plexiglass. I respect that because he is, in a certain age bracket. I don't want anything, God forbid, to happen to him. But his pictures are like $165. Yeah. And so his autograph is like $120. So I'm debating whether to take a picture, because if I take a picture, it's literally like the plexiglass is right here. He's going to be on this side. I'm going to be on this side. But okay. So everybody is going there with their Star Trek gear and stuff like that. I have something I want him to sign. I want him to sign actually a TJ Hooker picture. And I'm going to tell you this funny story. So when I was younger and everything, some of you guys may remember this. CBS had the Late Show, okay? Not like David Letterman, not, James Corbin, but they would show a primetime show at night, okay? And sometimes it would be a movie, sometimes it would be TJ Hooker. So one of the earliest memories I have with my mom is me in her room and we're watching TJ Hooker when I couldn't go to sleep. When I tell you TJ Hooker was the best show, and not only that, but it had the best theme. And this is where I found out about Heather Locklear as I got older, that she was doing 2 shows at once. I'm like, get paid, girl. Get paid. Like, can you do that? Like, I didn't know at the time, like, okay, she's on this show and she's on that. Can they do that? And as I got older, I understood, hey, money talks. So yeah, I hope to take a picture with him. Because this was also the same place that I met Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger, and he doesn't do photos. What he does, and it's very smart, is that he'll sign the autograph for you, but 10 minutes of what would be like taking a picture and stuff, he actually will sit down and talk to you. And so we talked about, and that was 2018, and I still remember it. I was freaking out. But I talked to him and I told him, I said, yeah. He was like, well, how old were you when you started watching Freddy? And I was like, 5. He was like, and we didn't do any damage to you? No. I should have told him about the Dylan stuff for the 90210, shouldn't I? But no, so yeah, I mean, here's my thing. This year I made a promise to do a lot of things that I haven't done before. Hey, Candice, did you hear it? Yeah, I heard about it. I'm gonna address that and the Days of Our Lives stuff in just a moment, because I'm a little heated with all the soaps. And it was a really good week. Don't get it twisted, but I have some issues. Okay, real quick. So night agenda. Okay, it's a drama mystery. Oh, I like that kind of stuff too. Oh, it's a 10 episode. Oh yeah, I can binge that Sunday. Hey, all right. If I can do the Terminal List in one day, I can do the Night Agent in one day. So okay, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna be doing some things that I normally don't do. Obviously, you guys know the main agenda is, and here it is, my whole plan out of June. June 16th is the daytime Emmys, and that's not that far away. So I've already booked the hotel. I got that. Now I have to wait till they hopefully lower the price of the plane ticket, because I want to I just don't want to spend a lot, and I know that I am going to probably have to. And also I want to bug James. So, just saying, I just want to bug him. Okay. So let me address this right now. So I titled this a lot of things, things happen in April. Obviously today, if you're an ABC fan, my heart goes out to you because you are mourning too. Today was the announcement that ABC Television Network, the president, Brian Franz of ABC Daytime, made a decision to cancel both of Agnes Nixon's babies. That's all I'm going to say. It was the day that Agnes Nixon soaps died, because All My Children and One Life to Live were both canceled after many speculations and rumors and all that. When I tell you it was the slap heard around the world, it literally was the slap in the soap community, because we was just getting over the loss of Gone Light. We were just getting over the fact that, we had heard, because remember this, we was getting over the fact of As the World Turns. But not only that, but then we had to remember that before As the World Turns, before Gone Light, just prior to that anniversary, NBC made the decision to cancel Another World. It was all said and done. It was wrap it up. Like, April was not a good month. I mean, but hindsight, I mean, you take a look at the anniversaries. Today is Kristen Alfonso's 40th. Maurice Bernard's 30th is happening. Lynn Herron's anniversary. Finola Hughes' anniversary. Mara West's anniversary was this month as far as daytime goes. And not for nothing, yesterday was the anniversary of the first Nikki and Victor wedding, which is, folks, and I constantly have to tell people this, it is the highest rated episode of Young and the Restless to this date. And if you're going to do this, let's do it right now. That is the fourth largest wedding viewership in soap history. We already know number one. You know, number two is Steve and Betsy from As the World Turns. That's Meg Ryan's character, for those who don't know. Days of Our Lives' highest episode yet to date was the third highest wedding, which was Steve and Kayla. And number 4 was Victor and Nikki. So there you go, folks. Take that to the bank and cash it. Okay, anyway. So back to the All My Children thing. I remember Susan Lucci was on live with, what was it, Regis and Kelly at the time? Or was it Kelly and Ryan? I think it was Kelly and, no, it was Kelly and Regis. It was, or just plain Kelly. And she denied it. Susan Lucci denied the rumors, saying no, even though they were getting ready to move to California, because it was like, you know, the money and all that stuff. And so it was like, okay, if Susan Lucci says it's not going to be canceled, guess what? It ain't going to be canceled. Because if you take a look at the ABC ratings, One Life to Live, it was One Life to Live, All My Children, and then General Hospital. General Hospital wasn't doing so good at that time. And really, in all honesty, everybody was looking at General Hospital being canceled. They were looking at that show like, will General Hospital survive another year? And so when this news came out, where the heck was I at? I think I was at work, or I was just leaving work. I was not at bingo like I was for Gone Light. Okay, I remember how I found out. Daytime Confidential. Because I remember, was it Jillian or Luke? One of them had posted saying, hell no. And it was saying that ABC made the decision today to cancel da-da-da-da-da-da. I just remember my heart felt like, it just was like, whoa, what the mess? And let me say, hold on. We had the return of Brooke English and many others, didn't we? Didn't we almost have it all? Not only that, Lauren was writing the show. Yeah, All My Children, like, it was crazy at the time, because One Life to Live was getting really good. It really was getting good, especially when Roger Howarth came back, right? Okay. Then you had the whole situation on All My Children. It was return after return, and they were getting back into the swing of things, right? We don't even talk about the Erica and Ryan stuff. We ain't never see that. That was, I don't know who was drinking, but that was just wrong. So the thing is that it was just a complete shock. And keep in mind, everybody was still kind of coming off of the fact that Gone Light, that, you know, As the World Turns, they both were gone. And when you took a look at the structure of daytime, it was sort of like, okay, the next soap to go would have been Days, because what everybody was saying was at that time was they were getting rid of, quote unquote, the old soaps. Now, keep in mind, Gone Light was the mother of the soaps, right? And then there was As the World Turns. And then if by you know, the term here, All My Children, One Life, Days of Our Lives, you know, or you can do it like this. It was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either. Looking at, I don't know. But they was looking at ways that they were saying, okay, the older soaps are getting ready to roll out. I just remember thinking to myself, what did ABC and Brian Franz do? Because Brian Franz was no stranger to canceling soaps. NBC, Search for Tomorrow. Look it up. But the thing is that it was like ABC, now CBS has two soaps. NBC had one soap. And now ABC was about to do the one soap thing. And I remember there was such a fan campaign. When I say fan campaign, I mean Lifetime was involved. Obviously, OWN was involved. We all remember the famous video that Oprah sent out saying, as much as I love these shows, financially, I can't produce it. I cannot do this. And it kind of was hard for us because we looked at Oprah as the daytime champion. You know, she would always have like the daytime stars on her shows. She would talk about how big a fan she was. And it was like, if anybody could try to rescue these shows, it would be Oprah, because Oprah had a new network called OWN, which, no offense, when it first came out, it sucked. Because, and I love Oprah, trust and believe, I love some Oprah. But the problem is that not everybody was feeling the reruns of Oprah, Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, Dr. Oz. What does she have? And some other things. And everybody was wondering, could Agnes Nixon or somebody like go to CBS or NBC? And I remember the rumors on the message boards where people was like, CBS could buy it. Like the Bell family could literally get those shows. And it would actually kind of be a good partnership, because William J. Bell and Agnes were students of Erna, you know? And how fitting would it be that both of her prodigies would have shows on the same network, you know? And then I remember when they did say that ABC sold the rights, and it was like, what the heck did ABC do? Like, ABC was like, we don't got nothing to do with this. We covered up our murder on, you know. They're going to be fixing it. I know they're going to be working on, because they're still working on the street out here. So I apologize that I'm freezing up. But I just remember that everybody was silent on social media for a while. And then I think everybody was looking at Kelly Ripa, because we literally seen that woman grow up, and she said something. And then, you know, All My Children was first, and then One Life to Live. And I just remember, if you go on YouTube and you go to watch The View, go watch the last few minutes of The View of the All My Children tribute, especially the One Life to Live tribute. I'm going to tell you why. If you didn't understand how hard this was for anybody, take a look at Agnes Nixon's face. Especially, I'm going to tell you the timestamp. Tribute of The View. Agnes Nixon is heartbroken that both of her shows that she fought so hard for, that was on a network that literally was the Agnes Nixon's broadcasting, like that was Agnes broadcast company, because she had Loving, she had All My Children, you know, she had One Life to Live. And the fact that somebody took, just like that, like Thanos, Endgame, took and snapped their fingers, and both of her shows was gone. Both of her pride and joys was gone. That hurt. That is the embodiment of why we soap fans, we get upset. We are so frustrated. We're so emotional, because we know how hard these people work to provide us entertainment. And the fact that, you know, again, Agnes had to fight a lot of people to get these shows on the air. And not only that, but these shows gave us two characters that to this day we bow down to. And that's Erica Kane and Victoria Lord. you know, and the fact that these shows had such iconic moments and created powerful story. I mean, ABC effed up big time with this. And I think everybody has said it today. ABC has never bounced back from that decision. Because you take a look at the Chew, the Resolution, Fab Life, Tyra, what was the other shows? Oh crap. I don't care, really don't care. Good morning, good afternoon, America. That became a soap opera in its own right recently. But none of these shows could pull in the ratings that All My Children, One Life to Live did. And the fact that Oprah went back on her word, and she's, when the online network came out, not everybody knew what the heck to do. They didn't understand. They didn't understand that this was something that you have to go online. Nobody really explained it the way that Days did with Peacock. The problem is that, not everybody was having computers. Nobody's like, it wasn't on smartphones or anything. So when Oprah and Hulu, because remember Hulu and Oprah started showing the re-airings of the broadcast of All My Children, One Life to Live. And not for nothing, and this is fact, OWN's ratings went up during those time slots when All My Children, One Life to Live was on. It's funny how that works, huh? But yeah, it was... And then when ABC got the rights back, I think everybody was just like really excited because what did this mean? And if you watch General Hospital, you know what that meant. That you get to, on General Hospital, I call it the mega soap because they included Loving, seriously, Port Charles, obviously, All My Children, One Life to Live, and Ryan's Hope. And we know that Kelly Ripa was trying to get Pine Valley up, running and stuff. And I don't think that's going to happen. But I will say this, though. If... Hey, DC! Armani. Who's on? Ernest Phillips? What? I will say this is that this is one of those things where if I was somebody, I would try to do a 10 episode or something on Hulu. You have Hulu there. I always do this too. It's like, okay, what if neither show got canceled? Like ABC still had all three shows on their air, on the air. All My Children, One Life, and General Hospital. How things would be different. And the number one thing I would say is Frank and Ron would not be over at Days or GH. They would still be at One Life to Live. Ron would still be writing at One Life to Live because that was his. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was his strongest soap, obviously, because that was his, first one. Speaking of, I'm loving the introduction of the Hastings family on Forever and a Day. It's giving the intro of the Buck Buchanans and Lewises. Oh, thank you. That show, that Forever and a Day show. That show that I love so much. DC, are you caught up? Because if you're caught up, then I can say something about something. But no, real quick, let me just say this. If One Life to Live was still on the air, obviously Michael Easton and Roger Howard would not be on General Hospital. Josh Kelly would not be on GH. Lorraine would be. Here's the thing: Lorraine still would be on the writing team. She would still be on the writing team. She would have took a break, and then she would have came back. Okay, so you're on episode 3. Okay. I can't say what I want to say then. I'll talk to you later about that, DC. I need you to hurry up, catch up. Because it's something that happens and I need to hear your reaction to it. I really need to hear it. I'm still not understanding how Gunnar is married to Emma. That confuses me. I need you to catch up. need you to catch up. All will be explained. Yeah, he hated her for the longest. You're right. And vice versa too. The real story is Danielle and Alex. That's all I'm going to say. That's the real story. Two people that are in love. I don't know. But no, like, I just feel as though like ABC made a real, I mean, obviously to this day, that show still suffers from that loss of All My Children and One Life to Live. And they have never been able to bounce back. It's sort of, and I'm going to say the same thing about CBS, even though, yeah, they have Young and Restless and Bold, and they have The Talk, which honors the soaps. There is still such a huge void from CBS daytime because you don't have As the World Turns and Guiding Light. You just don't. Hey, Black Love, what's up? And same thing for NBC. You know, and let me tell you something right now. When Another World was canceled, keep in mind their anniversary is next month, right? So they was just shy of their 35th anniversary. Luckily, they made it to they ended literally a month after they celebrated their 35th anniversary, which was messed up. They had the shortest time to wrap up storyline, and some of it didn't make any sense. Because like I said, that gorilla, that still irks me, by the way. That episode when Lila and Cass are getting married, and then that freaking gorilla, I'm like, yep. I said, you know what we're going to do is we're going to hang up now. So, yeah. I've been watching 1985, 86, given how they've been. I mean, okay, real talk. We all should know a little bit why As the World Turns was canceled, in a sense, because it wasn't, I can't say ratings, because the ratings was solid. As the World Turns was in the top, like at least the top 5 sometimes, or the top 7, right? Let the record show that there was an idea for a talk show that had came up, and it was going to be with that Sarah Gilbert, had came and everything else like that. And they picked Julie, and again, Julie is married to who? Well, they still married. Yeah. Almost went there with that. But Les Moonves made that decision. That wasn't a business decision. That was a personal business decision. And the thing is that, again, when all that was said and done, it was like, oh, so now you're going to put on The Talk? Like, okay, just rub it. Like, we needed another talk show. But as over time, and I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of The Talk for a while. I really wasn't. I felt as though, like, no, y'all could have had this one at some, just like Let's Make a Deal. Y'all could have had this in the early part of the day or something, or late night or something. Over the course of time, though, The Talk has won me over because they, and I know a large part of it was because of Angela McDaniel to incorporate the soaps into it. So I got to give them a shout out for that. They stayed from, that's that Douglas Marlin. Douglas. It was obvious. Yeah. Can I just say Brian Brum? I just saw a recent picture of him. My God, those eyes are still blue. I'm like, when I look into your eyes. Yeah, here's the thing about GH. Because GH was really in troubled waters. They really were. And ABC saw those blue, my beautiful blue. I know, right? He would say that to Brian. The thing is that with General Hospital was really like, whoo, there were some decisions that was being made left and right. And that's why ABC, the one thing I can say that ABC did right was they saw what Frank and Ron and some people were doing with One Life to Live, because One Life to Live at a time was really bad, ratings wise. They saw that they saved that show. So it was smart to bring them on to save General Hospital sinking ship. The problem was there was a lot of people who was not feeling Ron or Frank at GH. And we all know this because they felt as though, what's your story? Speaking of talk shows, you ready for Mark? Here's the thing that I like Kelly and Mark. And here I'm going to tell you something. Exactly. And that's how I'm going to look at it. I'm going to be honest, DC. I said the same thing. I was like, now they have to do. They're going to have to spoof this on Monday. They're going to have to do something on Monday. Or something, or during All My Children week. Hey, there you go. Whatever happened to them, bring it back. Yeah, ABC didn't greenlight it. They didn't greenlit it because it would have supposed to have been for this current TV season, and it didn't get picked up. Okay. I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial, but it needs to be said. I get what they were going to do with Pine Valley. The problem is you couldn't sell. I mean, if you're going to do it on ABC, everybody would expect it to be what it was. 5 days, Monday through Fridays episodes at 1 p.m. with familiar faces that we have grown up with. I don't think people were ready for a condensed, quote unquote, once a week episode of All My Children. Because remember, that was the issue about the online version. It was every Monday and Tuesday that All My Children and One Life to Live would come out. Another factor is that you would kind of reboot the show, but have familiar faces playing different parts. Now, my whole thing was that when they decided, they want a continuation of the daytime, and that's what it is. DC wants me to say this. Speaking of my mom, listen to Forever in the Day with me in the car. It was the scene where Danielle told Stephanie, that's a damn lie. My mom goes, this Danielle person has no class. Her magazine is even. You know what? I'm going to defend Danielle real quick. Take a side note, time out, pause. Danielle is like everybody. She keeps it 100. She keeps it real. No, it's okay. No, because I have to defend her. Danielle is like us. She's not fake. She's not phony. She feels as though there's some people out there who they hide behind their egos. They hide behind their truths. And then they get called out. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, my halo's crooked. So, that's Danielle. Back to this. Okay. They could have done Pine Valley on Hulu along with Landview on Hulu as well. I mean, okay. So I agree with you, Nathan, because I said the same thing. They need to include that. Okay, you can't do it on ABC because you got Grey's Anatomy, Station 19, some other shows. You could have done it with Hulu. I don't understand why they couldn't. They could have been technically the first to kind of do it by having their soaps on a streaming service. And I'm going to be 100 with you. Everybody would have got it. Everybody would have been invested. But here's the kicker for you. What would that mean for Frank Valentini? Because if Llanview became a thing, would Frank go back to One Life to Live or stay at General Hospital? Will some of these actors that are currently that's from these shows be on Llanview or Pine Valley? Let's take a look at this, folks. Because I said this one time before. If One Life to Live had came back, at that time, Cassie DePaiva was on Days of Our Lives. Oh, she would have jumped ship and gone back. Frank and Ron have made up. Oh my God. If Frank would have called Ron and said, hey, Ron, we're bringing back, One Life to Live. He would have came back too. And it would have been like, hey, there it is. Josh Griffin. Oh, wait a minute. I love how my cousin just messaged me and says, hey, I'm watching you on YouTube. You're pretty cool. Thanks, boo. Okay. But no, Josh Griffin. Okay. Here's the thing. Josh Griffin at One Life to Live was a brilliant move. Josh Griffin at One Life to Live did the damn thing, except for the Killer Club. I could see him over at One Life to Live if they had One Life to Live back on the air. Gary Tomlin would have been directing over there. It boggles me that ABC has the rights to this show, to these shows, and they're not doing anything with them. Just like with Procter & Gamble, they're not doing anything. And it's frustrating as a soap fan because it's like we are asking for this because we are a generation that can remember these shows. Now, sadly, not a lot of people will remember Another World. Like, we remember Another World. But there's a generation who does not know about this. There's going to be a generation that someday will not know about As the World Turns and Gone Light and All My Children and One Life to Live. Or Passions. Or Ryan's. Look, there's a generation that knows nothing about Loving the City, Edge of Night, Capital, or Loving. Or Search for Tomorrow. Some of us still do. We're probably the last generations that will remember those soaps. It's really important for the viewers of daytime soap genres for the soap genre community to understand. Without these shows, technically speaking, we will not have these shows today. And you got the brightest stuff. Well, I mean, some of us don't remember that. You know what I mean? Unless you're Casey. There you go. So yeah, it's crazy. They haven't brought these shows back. ABC has only had Nora Buchanan, aka Put Y'all's. Maybe Shauna, we're gonna get in the bag, and we don't know. There's a lot. Well, I mean, okay. So I remember we was on Soap Party a couple of years ago, and I was fumbling online while doing the show because I like to, I was keeping up with a lot of stuff for you guys to be up to date on it. And the thing is that during the show, I saw the case of ABC Prospect Park, and that's when I found out that ABC got the rights back. Now, at that time, nobody talked about it. So Park, I was the first, I think I was one of the first people to say, hey, by the way, breaking news, ABC got the rights back. And then everybody else was talking about it. I want to believe deep down inside that they're working on it. I really do. It's just frustrating when you want to know what's going on. And when can we expect? Because that's another thing is that we fans, we want it. We want the material. We want to see our favorites back. And like you guys just pointed out, imagine if As the World Turns would have done a funeral for Kim and Lucinda. I'm going to tell you right now, that would have been a week. That would have been a week tribute. That would have been like, you would have Julianne Moore come back for the funeral. You would have probably Betsy, Meg Ryan come back. I don't know. All My Children. I mean, Eva LaRue would have been there. I mean, not Eva LaRue. Hello. Yeah, Eva LaRue. Yeah, there you go. She would have came back. I still want them to finish the whole time. As I really was. I just want to see Ted King, point blank, period. Lucinda was Oakdale's Dorian Lord. Hold up. Okay. Lucinda to me, let me just say this right now. Lucinda to me was a mix of, she was a female JR mixed with Angela from Falcon Crest. She ruled with an iron fist. She had a heart, but she would not take your bull at all. Like, that's why I always said, like, the dream crossover for me, for CBS, because ABC did a lot of crossovers, and they gave me one that I will never forget as long as I shall live. But I always wanted CBS to have an episode where there was a stockholders meeting, and you had Victor Newman, you had Jill. Jack would have tried to figure out how to get involved in this. You would have had Alan Spaulding and Alexandra being there to talk some stuff. You would have had Joshua Lewis there. You would have had Craig Montgomery, and you would have Lucinda. That was my dream. And I left out Bold because Bold would have had a different crossover, because that would have been with Carly, and that would have been with Melinda. Okay, Melinda Sue Lewis. It would have been the fashion stuff, and you would have had Chloe, right? Okay. That was my dream episode. Like, could you imagine Lucinda up against Alan Spaulding and Victor Newman? Like, that would have been endgame for me. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Lucinda and Alexander would have tore each other up. At point blank, period. Like, get Nikki Newman involved. Hello. No, actually, no, get Jill and Mrs. Catherine Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen. Jeannie Cooper and Elizabeth Hubbard. Like, they're going to come out. Hi, Susan Flannery. But no, like, I always wanted that, right? And then, I mean, yeah, I still remember when Christian LeBlanc, shout out to him, because seriously, he is the embodiment of a soap person that we like. But the fact that he went back to Aswell Terrence as Michael Baldwin, and I remember that promo, I was just cracking up, because he played Kirk on that was his first gig, But to have him over there, and then I still like when they said Jeannie Cooper, because I remember Jeannie Cooper wanted to be on Guiding Light, but I always thought Catherine Chancellor. But then again, they did say Catherine Chancellor's name on Guiding Light, so that was a crossover, I guess. Let me see. The daytime Emmys come out next week. Yep, because the voting is officially done. You guys, all I know is some people are going to be mad next week, and I'm talking about us fans. Because I have a feeling there's going to be some shocks that's going to be like, what the? And there's probably going to be some people that's not in the same categories. I'm hoping for that. I'm actually hoping there's some people who decided to not be in the same category and actually try to venture out. Brighton James. I hope you go for lead. Okay, sorry. To me, Paulina Price is now the mind of the day. DC, I love you. But hell no. And I'm going to tell you why I said that, because they messed up. This is one of those times where the writers messed up on a character that could have been a boss, like Erica Kane or Lucinda Walsh. Let me see. I told you that the story is going to be who doesn't get nominated. Well, we can all say this. Candice Magazine going to get nominated for a Daytime Emmy. Darn it. But the thing is that Paulina, she's an interesting character who had some roots. She really did. But that whole quote unquote abuse husband that she was going to, and I get it, like in real time, in real world, people do this. But that whole story arc was so rushed, and it missed certain beats that it was just like, whoo, okay. Then all of a sudden it's like, they're just throwing everything. And I know at this time J.K. was doing other stuff, but they're rushing a lot of stuff with her. I agree, DC. They rushed the hell out of it. They really did. Suzanne Walters for Best Supporting. I pray that she gets it, because I'm telling you, I always say this: the categories to look for is not the leads, but the supporting, especially because they lowered the younger performers' age to 18, which means that Tabiana, Eden, Nicholas, some of the ones that usually would be in the younger category are now eligible for supporting. And I'm going to tell you something, and this is going out to the GH crew. I'm paying very close attention to who they're going to pick, because I'm going to be honest with you. If they don't do what I think they're going, okay, there needs to be a 3. Okay, one of these shows is going to have a 3 count, meaning 3 nominations, like in a certain category from the same show. And I think it might be GH. The problem is that which category they're going to do the 3 count in. Because I'm going to tell you something, in supporting, they better pick right. Let me say that. Who would you put in lead for a lead category from the CBS soaps? I'm glad you asked, because I have a draft. I do a draft. Y'all know I do. And here's my nominees. Let me do it right now. For Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, the nominees are, well, for Candice, me. For Lead Actress, Amelia Heinle as Victoria Newman, Young and the Restless. No? Okay. All right. Sharon Case as Sharon Rosales, Young and the Restless. Jacqueline McInnes Woods as Stephanie Forrester. Yeah, y'all know I have to do it right. Okay. The Bold and Beautiful. Catherine Kelly Lane as Brooke Logan, The Bold and Beautiful. Congratulations to all the nominees. Okay. For lead actor in a drama series, the nominees are Thorsten Kaye, Bold and the Beautiful. Okay, now this is where I put this person in this category. I don't know for sure if they're going to do it or not, but I think, in all honesty, because the whole year did revolve around this person too, they need to be acknowledged, and that is Matthew Atkinson as Thomas Forrester, Bold and Beautiful. Brighton James as Devon Hamilton, The Young and the Restless. Peter Bergman as Jack Abbott, The Young and the Restless. Congratulations to all the nominees. For Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series, the nominees are Susan Walters as Diane Jenkins, The Young. Melissa Orway as Abby Newman Chancellor, whatever, The Young and the Restless. One more? Okay. Oh, okay. That was from Young and the Restless, okay? Y'all ready? Oh, Melissa as Chelsea Lawson, The Young and the Restless. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Okay. Here's where I might get like kicked off, okay? Kimberly Brown as Sheila Carter, The Bold and the Beautiful. Renée Sofer. Yeah, I said it. That's right. I said it. I said it. I said it. My Wi-Fi is going to act up now. Are you serious? As Quinn Forster, almost Carter's wife, the Bold and Beautiful. Congratulations on the nominees. For supporting actor in a drama series, the nominees are Sean Dominic as Nate Hastings Jr., The Young and the Restless, CBS. Jason Thompson as Billy Abbott, Young and the Restless. Jordi Vassou as Ray Rosales, The Young and the Restless, CBS. Come at me, longer. Lawrence St. Victor as Carter on The Bold and the Beautiful, CBS. Sean Kanan as my future husband. Sorry, as Deacon Sharp, Bold and Beautiful, CBS. Obviously, too, for the younger performer, I have the little boy that plays Douglas on Bold and Beautiful. Also, Carter. I'm not Carter. Connor and oh shoot, what's the other kid's name? Shoot, I can't think. But Chelsea's kids, those kids. I had them as well. For the former. So, and of course, yeah. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Like, I'm hoping I get these right. I mean, I have some obviously NBC and for ABC, but literally all jokes aside, that is who I want. And I know that some people are gonna say, "What about Tanner?" And who plays Finn? And I will say that I do think he may get a shot at getting a link, getting us a supporting. But I'm looking really closely at, again, because you got to look at the whole year. Did Victoria win? Heck no. Let's talk about that. There are some people who have never gotten an Emmy Emmy. And I think we're all saying the same thing. This Catherine Kelly Lane. She has been nominated so many times, and I really thought before the Stephanie stuff, Catherine had it clinched because of the drinking stuff. I don't know if they're going to do like they did with John McCook, because Catherine has some good stuff. She really did. So we'll see what happens. Will Jackie get a three-peat? Or will it be Catherine's year? Or will Amelia, but I got to look at GH. GH has some strong females. And, everybody's saying Laura Wright, Cynthia Watros, and Mara West. And I love Mara West. Don't get it twisted. I do. But I got to look at the whole year. And I'm going to say this. GH usually has the 3 spot, meaning 3 actors in a category. I would not be surprised if it's Laura, Cynthia Watros, and Finola Hughes. Because Finola, if y'all remember, the beginning of last year, she had some strong material. So I'm going to say this. And for supporting, GH had a lot of supporting actresses. So I'm prepared for the WTF moments with that category. Marcy Miller, Lakina, this is one of those things that I'm going to say. I feel as though they're going to give Marcy Miller the lead actress spot because, one, she did do some good material, but I also feel as though King Corday and them, feels like they owe it to her because of. Okay. Does the actor submit their own reel to be nominated? Some of them do, and sometimes the executive producers will put them up. Because as we all remember, the Camilla Bannis situation. Ken Corday, you were so wrong for that. Even though I don't, but that particular year, Camilla carried Days of Our Lives, and for y'all not to put her up for an Emmy nomination, that was messed up. That was messed up on so many levels. And sometimes, and the best part is, here's how you know when the daytime nominations are getting ready for the reels. Certain actors will come on social media and ask the fans, because who knows talent than the fans, right? To help them out with their reels. So we know that Nicholas, aka Spencer, he asked R.A. Zucker, and I'm going to tell you something. Okay, Days fans, check this out. If Beyond Salem, because remember they changed the rules so Beyond Salem could be in. Sam line, because I'm not, because they really did change it up. Okay, just saying. But I'm okay for Beyonce. I'm just gonna read y'all my list because. Okay, for Beyond Salem, for lead actress category. Okay, y'all already know I said Jackie, Amelia, and them. Okay, so this is who I have for Days of Our Lives. Usually with Days of Our Lives, they only have one person. That's what I said about the Marcy Miller. If they put Marcy in lead, the second person is R.A. Zucker. And I know a lot of people say, what about Stacey? And here's the thing about Stacey. Even though Stacey is a lead, in my opinion, I think they're gonna put Stacey in supporting. But here's the thing: Days has a lot of supporting actresses as well. This is the same thing that's gonna happen with GH. That's where Lakina, you remember that thing you just said? This is where the WTF moments are gonna come from. It's from that category. I swear I thought when I thought Peacock was about to say, guess what? Guess what's coming back on Peacock exclusively in 2023, 2024, Another World. I got excited when I heard that too. Because with okay, for lead, if they're gonna have Beyond Salem, you know Kristen Alfonso gets it. She's gonna get a nomination. For General Hospital, like I said, Laura, Cynthia, Fanola Hughes, Young and Ross, stuff like that. Okay. With Days, Ari is sometimes the only one to get that lead nomination. And some people don't understand why people don't get it. I say this last year, the first part of last year, she had really good solid material. Yeah, Jamie wrote a couple of lines like Judge Bauer last week on Days. I'm like, really kind of like, okay, all right, love you. So with Days for supporting, I'm gonna tell you right now who I think from Days who I think is probably going to get it is Stacey. And I have to really think again about the material because to me, Lindsay Godfrey deserves a nomination. The storyline she was involved in may not have been everybody's cup of tea, but Lindsay Godfrey did some good acting. Emily O'Brien did some good material last year too. Raven Bowens, who plays Chanel, did some good stuff too. Lindsay Arnold did some good stuff. Martha Madison did some good stuff. Jackie Harris. See, do you see the problem Days is going to run into? Because here's the thing. That's where the WTF moment is going to come from, is that there's certain people who did do the work last year that is not going to be put up for or not going to go into the final slate. And this is another thing too. And I'm going to say this. I know a lot of people were saying about Victoria Kohlenfeld, who plays Sierra. Now, she's up for 2 shows. She was on 2 shows. She was on Days of Our Lives, doing the Sierra Apprentice with the devil stuff, and also on Beyond Salem. Now, with Beyond Salem, it's going to be interesting because they last year was their first year. I don't understand why they didn't do no acting categories, but okay, okay. But Beyond Salem has Victoria and that plays Megan for supporting. If I was doing this, I would actually put Victoria. See this. Victoria got it. Okay, if Victoria goes into supporting for Days, there's going to be a stack. Now, yes, Victoria already won an Emmy. She has. Her performance on Days of Our Lives with the Sierra, the baby stuff, that was good. The Beyonce, I'm going to say something. Her, I don't know if it's the way the is, but I enjoy Sierra more on Beyond Salem than I do on Days. And I don't know what that is because it's the same writers, right? Okay. Yes, Miranda Wilson, thank you. For lead actor, with Beyond Salem, I'm gonna say this. I don't think there was a lead. And I know people are gonna say Peter Ruckel. But to me, Peter and Steve was sort of supporting, but I can see them going for Steve to be lead, which is going to be the WTF moment. For lead actor on Days, I mean, Dan, aka EJ, yes. All day long, yes. Then you got Eric Maltzoff, you also got Greg Vaughn. But usually Days is pretty good at that now. Going back to the Marcy Miller situation, I think that Days is going to probably put Billy Flint, and rightfully so. If they put Billy Flint in lead, I'm not going to be mad because they did exactly what I thought they were going to do with this Abby storyline. When they decided to kill off Abby, we all said the same thing. Billy Flint's going to bring it. He's going to bring it. So it's going to be interesting to see where they place him at if they submit him through, if he, goes through. With General Hospital, I see you said Wes Ramsey, and I agree. Wes Ramsey for supporting. Because with General Hospital and is where the other 3 spot comes in, or the 2 spot. Usually it's Maurice Bernard, James Pace Stewart, and insert third party. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't be surprised if Michael Easton is in lead actor. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. Go back, take a look at the whole year of 2022. Michael Easton was in every freaking scene and every freaking storyline that you could think of. That was like an A storyline. He was in the Peter stuff. He was in the Elizabeth stuff. He could have been Chase's daddy. Then you have what's going on now, right? But Michael Easton, he has material. Now, I'm going to be shocked. Let me get close to the mic here so y'all can hear me. On aisle 16, okay. If they do what I think they're going to do, this will be the ultimate. If they put Chad Duell in lead actor. Let that just into your brain that Chad Duell could actually go for lead actor. As it should be. Just think about that. Chad Duell could actually. Oh no! See what they did. See, DC. Here's the thing: they brought Kim Delaney for the guest performer category because they sure enough can use her into that. Yep. Mm-hmm. And let the record show the guest performer. And real quick, because I know somebody's going to say this. I do have Robert Newman on my list. Okay, check this out. Half of me wanted to say they would put him a guest performer. But here's where I'm going to say I put a question mark and I put a star and I said hopefully they put him in supporting because he did his thing too. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Okay. For guest performer though, you got Kim Delaney, you got Elizabeth's crazy parents on Days of Our Lives. I mean, let me see who's the guest performer over there. uh, 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 um, Kevin Spiritus, Patricia Darbo, and Martin. For a split second, he was there. If you blinked, you missed him, but apparently he was there. Beyond Salem, I mean, should we tell y'all who should have been? I mean, Eileen Davidson might get that guest performer spot. Just saying. Loretta Devine. Let me see who else. Young and the Restless. You know, they could have brought. Okay. So I know everybody kept saying that, especially when Robert was on Young and the Restless. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. And let me see. They're not going to put Richard in. I'm going to say, okay, because I think, all right, this is going to be interesting. They could put Richard in the same category. They really could, but it depends on whose reel was stronger. But half of me also got to believe the politics. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's why everybody's going to be looking to see if they put Steve Burton in. Because that right there, that's the front page news. Steve Burton got nominated. And y'all know why I said that too. Like, just saying. But no, like, because it depends. It really depends on whose reel was the stronger one. So, yeah. Yep. But just think about that. Chad Duell could go for lead actor. Oh boy. And I like, let me disclaimer, I do like Chad Duell. I do. He's it's just they need to do something with Michael, and I don't understand why they don't do certain things with the character of Michael that it should be done. He's a freaking I don't get it. Anyway, back to the story. No, but here's the thing. When I love some Zimmer. I love Kim Zimmer. That is it's Kim Zimmer. But I would not want them to be on at the same time. And I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody's going to be saying, it's Reva and Josh. It's Reva and Josh. Oh my gosh, it's Reva and Josh. They're back together again. This is where I have to sometimes say this. Just because they've been on other shows together, they've been in, stage productions, they did Venice and stuff like that. Yes, they have the chemistry. They've been working together for over 40 years. But it's also the writing. Because take a look at Beth Ellis and Ricky Paul Golden, because that is probably my example. Beth and Ricky Paul were great as Gus and Harley on Guiding Light. The magic, the chemistry, the writing, it flowed well. On All My Children, oh my God, what the heck? It was like it was just a mess on so many levels. And me personally, I would want Kim Zimmer on General Hospital or on Bold and Beautiful. But I respect that Kim Zimmer has semi-retired. Maybe she would like to do Forever and a Day. So, yeah. So then what did you think of? Oh my God. Let me tell you something. There are certain people who has that chemistry that can actually cross over, because let me just say this. Stephen Nichols and Mary Beth Evans, my God, are the persona of perfection when it comes down to this. I know that the actors who played Stephen Alice, when they went from Another World to One Life to Live, they were okay. But let me tell you something. Stephen Nichols and Mary Beth Evans are like a work couple. Like they bring the best out of each other to whatever it is. And I don't think it was okay. Steve and Kayla was one thing. I mean, I knew who they were. I knew but on General Hospital, they create and this is a testimony. This is a testament to acting, to soap opera acting. Okay. When you are familiar with each other in a new territory, and you make that magic happen, it's not by accident. It's just this natural chemistry that you guys share because you've been working together. Because I'm going to tell you another two that did it. Lane Davis and Nancy Lee Graham when Lane was on General Hospital. My God. It just rolls. It just rolls. But again, the problem with All My Children was Ricky Paul Golden and Beth, the writing wasn't there. They did not have enough time. You know, it's crazy because really in all honesty, they were together for what, 5 years? There was 5 years there, like 5 years for Beth and Ricky. Not like 20 years or 12 years or 10 years or, you know, so like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, I was just like, whoo. Oh yeah, Lizzie Hartley, Eric Mossoff. Just call it right there. Here's the thing though. It felt with Eric and Lindsay on days, it was Teresa and Ethan for a lot of us because that's all we saw. And keep in mind, it wasn't a bad thing, but it was just like weird, especially when you had Galen in the scenes. And it was like, okay, we get what they're doing. Really funny. But it just, something wasn't clicking. I mean, I personally, I did like them together, Brady and Audrey. I really did. But the only reason was because it was Ethan and Teresa. Now, I'll give you another person. And some people is going to have to really go on YouTube for this. When Linda Dano came over to One Life to Live, it was, what was it called? Browson. What was his name? But, you know, they were together on Another World. They played a couple. And he was like the police officer that stopped her. Or was he the police chief or something like that? And it was like Another World reunion. But it was so funny because they played it off so well. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was, woo, Lord, that was good times. ABC back then, that was the network to watch because you had crossovers left and right. They gave Linda Dano terrible material on One Life to Live. Don't get me started with the train wreck of Scott's paternity. Let me tell you something about that paternity, though. We went from Pine Valley to Landry to Port Charles. I finally had, you guys have no idea. Like, again, y'all remember how I just said earlier about the whole crossover on CBS? When I tell you my heart was not ready for Sky to be in Port Charles, my heart couldn't take it. My heart could not take it because my heart was bursting. I was like, if Sky and Carly get into it, I'm good. I am good. If Sky and such got, you know, like into it, I would not have. If Sky and Tracy got into it, I had a whole list of people Sky could get involved in. Okay. But I was not prepared for a lot of that stuff. And I will say this, I miss Robin Christopher on daytime. I hope her and Matt are doing great living on that farm. But I miss them on daytime. I miss Maddie. I miss Robin. I do. Because Robin had this modern day, you know, soap thing. Oh, DC, trust and believe. What's Lakina at? Lakina better still be on here. We used to be on the General Hospital Happenings board. Shout out to them. And people used to say Scott and Sonny would blow the show up because Robin Christopher and Maurice Bernard had it. When they was actually entwined in scenes, like, and it didn't even have to be them even talking. You could feel the chemistry between those two. And it was like, Okay, are they gonna hook up? 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 Like people came up with names. Like it was. Dang, we used to have good times, man. Dang, Church. Oh man. Woo! And then here's another thing. Remember the crossover thing that ABC gave me I wasn't prepared for was Dorian Lord and Adam Chandler. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I was so prepared. I was ready. I was like, breathe, 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 breathe. And then on the online version, y'all gave me Ron Reigns and freaking Robin Strasser. Like, get out of my face. Y'all couldn't. Darn Tom Messina. Giving Mark something to jump about. No Luke, please. Tony Geary and Robin Christopher had chemistry, but I was not pleased with the Sign Luke stuff. Like, I was just like, what the heck is this? Oh, Adam and Dorian would have, I would have been, and look, check this out. And Dorian would have called freaking Erica Kane and said, so what it's like to be with Adam Chandler? Let me tell you something. You're miserable. Oh my God. I'm like, wow. She said, no, Luke, please. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If GH played the cards right, you're going to say, hi, Luke. I would say Dorian and Alan. Like, not Adam. I mean, yeah, Adam and Dorian. That would have been the epic moment for me on ABC soaps. It's like, oh my God. That would have been, and sometimes I'm going to be honest. When Frank Valentini did those what ifs before Disney did, Marvel did the what ifs, when ABC had their what ifs, to this day, and I stick with this because I think this would have been the number one episode. I understand they did this because of the fact that Maurice was on All My Children as Nico. But I wish they would have had Susan Lucci, Erica Slezak, and Tony Geary in one, because they were the epitome of ABC daytime. Obviously, Frank Valentini is doing the Carly and Carly. I was going to say Ryan, Carly and Drew, because the chemistry that Cameron Matsson and Laura Wright had in their what ifs. There's sometimes that I'd be like thinking, I'm like, hey, what if this would have happened? We could have had it all. We really could have had it all. No. Oh well, okay. Don't think of Beverly McKenzie's Alex, but Marsh do say, oh no. I'm gonna tell you something. Marsh do say, Alex, yeah, but Beverly now, if Beverly McKenzie was still with us, her Alex and Asa Buchanan. Tell me I'm wrong. Beverly McKenzie's Alexandria with Ace Buchanan. Go. I'm just saying that would have been I'm just getting excited thinking about it. Like Phil Carey and Beverly McKenzie, there would have been no scenes. Y'all talking about when y'all said there would be no scenes left. There would be really just the place to show on them. Asa Buchanan and Alexander Spalding, sorry, Belly McKenzie and Phil Carey. Just call it a day and call it a wrap. Like a special 2-week event. That I would have loved to have seen that. Watch me try to edit something so I can see it. Oh my God. Darn soaps. So, okay, so let me address why I have an issue. Oh, see, they would have been rivals, but deep down inside, Asa would have been turned on. Oh, yeah. So, okay, so let me tell you all the issues that I had with this week with some of the soaps. Young and Restless. Okay. I got spoiled. I'm not going to say anything because a lot of you guys probably don't know, but some of you guys do. I'm going to say this. This was my fear that they were going to do. And I'm kind of hoping, just like I said about the situation I said last night or the night before, about Diane, this whole plan, because I feel as though the character of Phyllis she has kind of gone down a different path, but like I said, I know that this character is now like clinging. So I still stick to what I said about Jeremy and Diane, but now because of what happened, I feel as though this is going to be the biggest mind game ever. And I'm hoping, and see, this is okay. So let me just address this right now. Here's the thing that I think fans are sometimes forgetting when these storylines, and I'm not saying this because, me writing and stuff like that, but as a soap fan, sometimes we can have an imagination of how the storylines are going to go without everybody saying it's not going to happen. Like give us like something to kind of like imagine, right? If it goes that way, fine, great. If it doesn't, we can have that frustration. But I think sometimes as soap fans, we cling on to what we think has to happen because this is what we're told. But usually sometimes, and I think Peter Reckles said it last night, is people have forgotten what a storyline can do and how it's supposed to be presented and how it's supposed to take time and how it's supposed to get a reaction from us. Because I think we are now in a day and age where we need everything now because sadly, and I mean, I understand we don't know if these shows are going to last, the next day. However, we have to hold on. We have to kind of use our creativity genes and be like, oh my gosh. That's what, remember when we was kids, we would have imaginations of being like the president or the princess or queen or something like that. Sometimes you got to have to do that. And like I said, I'm hoping that there's a twist because this storyline is again, for those who saw it is now taking a twist. It's like, oh, but I know people are going to compare it to another character who had the same potential and how that worked out. So I'm going to say this. I also did hear that Young and Restless, you owe me my money because I said something on here about Kyle and Summer, but I did not expect a certain person to be in this play. So I take out Billy and I put in the person, and I think some of you guys know who it is too. I'm for it. Let's go. Let's go. I'm for it. Okay, so okay, if I get in trouble for this, you guys just remember Lakina said it. So there's a clip of Chance talking to Summer while Summer was drinking. I swear to God, I did not know none of this was happening. Remember I said Summer was going to get drunk? I didn't remember I said Billy. I said Billy's going to come to the bar because something happened with her and everything. So apparently Chance is going to talk to her. And I think Kyle says something to him. And yeah, let's go. Let's go. Spoiler alert, by the way. Joy says years ago storylines took time and we were okay with that. Now it seems that everyone wants the story solved too quickly. Exactly. Exactly, because we've lost our long-term attention span. We have a short attention span now. And because people feel as though, again, you have all these, cancellations or people are not staying on the show so long. So it's like, okay, I feel as though I deserve this because the actor is only going to stay for like 10 days or 10 months. So we need to get to the thick of it. The problem is that, okay, you want the thick of it? Okay, I rather prefer give me something to build up to. Because if you don't have that part of the story, then you lost me. And I think with, like Young and sometimes GH, you tell the majority of the story off screen, but we need to see some of it play out on screen. But at the same time, you don't want that. So you just want to, go head in. It's like, okay, you want rainbows and lollipops and everything. And it doesn't work that because you're going to miss an important factor. That was my beef about Young and the Restless with Adam. The whole, Chance and Adam and all that stuff happened in Vegas off screen. I wanted to see some of it play on screen. I wanted to see the Taraya stuff happen on screen. You didn't have to show me everything, but give me the majority. Like I wanted to meet the young lady that was giving the baby up for adoption. I wanted to know a little bit about her and about her gelling with Mariah, Tessa, like how does she feel that her baby is going to be a part of the Newman orbit, or it was the same sex situation and everything. But I do feel Days is managing to hit all their notes, diversity, good. Well, I mean, with Days of Our Lives right now, because everybody is a little upset with Ron. Because some people feel as though Ron is not writing for the LGBTQ plus community. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Also for, the diversity. Because, spoiler alert, not Chanel, Lord Jesus. Jada's sister probably is responsible for the drugging. So it's like you're putting another Black person under the bus of a crime while you have other people just running around, woo, and stuff like that. I will say Days is that show that everybody has to tear apart. General Hospital is a close second, but Days is the one that really, for some reason, they get tear apart. That confuses you. I'm thinking she's working with Stallone's brother or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out next week. But the thing is that Days of Our Lives sometimes get tear apart, and I don't think people understand why they tear the show apart. Because, all right, I'm just going to do it. This whole Bo storyline. This is where I'm confused at on so many levels, because I feel as though there's a lot of people who was on different sides of the Bo storyline. To me, go back to Beyond Salem 2, right? Bo was in heaven, allegedly, and then he woke it up. He was in Megan's chamber. Of course, he wasn't going to be the same Bo Brady that we saw, because we knew something had to happen to him, right? And he got brainwashed. Look, Megan brainwashed John and Steve in Beyond Salem 2. Spoiler, okay? Thing is that, okay, hindsight, Bo's alive. He's brainwashed. You got Hope, who's moved on. I mean, literally moved on with other people. And she's on an adventure, and this Harris guy, he was brainwashed. But how was Hope and Harris before the brainwash? Obviously, they were together before that, I guess. Okay. So now you got brainwashed Bo, who is tapping into his evil Kiriaka side, which I'm fine with, because this means we get more of the insight of the Kiriaka stuff. He's with scenes with, with Kayla right there. That's the Brady's. That's the Brady's family, because you don't have a lot of Brady's really on the show. You have Steve and Kayla in an adventure. I remember when a lot of people said that they wanted Steve and Kayla to be on as much as John and Marlena. Well, hello, you got Steve and Kayla in an adventure with their children, with their kids, right? Okay. John and Marlena, who always gets the storyline from everybody, like it says, they're kind of taking a back burner seat for a little bit. Okay. But at the same time, there's other storylines that's happening on this show that does need to be addressed. But your big story, actually, you have two big stories, and this is where the problem comes. Everybody wants something for some of their characters that they truly like, because I always say this: not everybody likes Bo and Hope in the storyline. Not everybody cares about the vets. It's a sad situation, but guess what? Some people don't. People care about the Johnny and Chanel and Wendy situation. Some people care about the Demira versus Demira situation, the stabby stuff. They care about that. They care about EJ and Nicole and Eric, right? Okay. So what do you do to benefit everybody? That's the problem. You can't. Because everybody is like, okay, it is now Monday. You're showing this. It's now Tuesday. When is our couple coming on? It's now Wednesday. Didn't we just see, like, you're telling the same story again, Days, like you're doing this. And we're all guilty of it, because today's episode, by the way, I'm going to say something. Today's episode was funny as I don't know what. Even though I will say this, I said I don't want nobody else to get drugged. I didn't want anybody, because I feel as though we played that storyline out. But I got to give a shout out to Carson Boltman, to Greg Vaughn, to Ari, because I was cracking up the whole freaking time, especially with the banana. I'm like, really, dude? Like, okay. But I'm going to tell you something. Not everybody felt the storyline, because everybody compared it to when Ron did, what was it, a couple of years ago. And then they compared it to when Vincent Irizarry's character drug Spike the Punch. Everybody went back to, oh, this was done on All My Children, boo. Like, no, we ain't doing this. So it's interesting that we tear apart a lot of these things, and like you said, Lakina, when everybody first heard it, they was like, Lord Jesus, Ron got to get fired. Like, stage, But for some people, it was funny. And the way I look at it is, yeah, it's another drug storyline, but they kind of they've moved forward with a lot of the storyline, because now it's like Salone saw Eric and Nicole. Nicole and Eric are going to have to remember this. Nicole's going to have to tell EJ. Then you got the stabby stuff. It's like, it's just a lot going on. But as far as old school storytelling in today's world, I think people forgot about that. I think a lot of people have forgotten what it is to build a storyline up. And I say that we have short attention span, because we get everything so fast. You take a look at Trina and Spencer on General Hospital, because they had the slow burn. They had a slow burn buildup, and it paid off. And now look at where we're at. We're in the summer, getting ready for summer, which means, you know what? Spring Adventure. Hashtag Spring Adventure. Tell your friends about it. Let them know. But actually, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. Yeah. I think I spelled it right. There we go. I mean, you really had it. It was slow. It was a slow burn, and I think some of the writers don't know how to do it anymore, and then there's some writers who do. Like DC, you said Ron to me is great for the genre. I feel he keeps us on the edge of our seats. I mean, he ain't no Agnes Nix and William J. Bell, but he's giving the James Riley energy, and I love that. And here's the thing. I always say Ron, I'm gonna be honest, okay. Out of all the writers on daytime currently, right? Josh Finn, Dan and Chris, Bradley Bell, and Ron Carlivati. I give Ron a lot of flack. I do. And it's because I've seen him at his best. I've seen him at his very worst. And I've seen him trying to please the fans. And I feel as though this is the number one rule that any soap writer, they need to not do this. Sadly, not everybody's going to like your writing. Not everybody's going to like your writing, and that's fine. Because that means that you're doing your job. Now, there's going to be fans who are like, yay, like, yes. And then there's some fans who are like, you know what? But again, that is the job, and that's what they're doing. The job for a writer is to write something to get a reaction from you. That's it. Writers are not trying to dismantle your favorite characters or couple or destroy the show. What they're doing is trying to write a show to get a reaction from you, the viewers. That's what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to be a cheerleader for a certain couple. They're not supposed to mess up any kind of fantasy you had. They're not trying to do that. They're trying to do their job that they were hired for. And so with Ron, I mean, Days of Our Lives is that show. Let me see. Ron needs a co-head writer. Yeah. I mean, everybody's saying that. Like, there were certain soap writers and I agree with you, DC. And I'm going to say something about that in just one moment. And Nathan says Ron can be way too sensitive when it comes to feedback on what the fans say online. He hasn't been on Twitter in a while, which is a good thing. Well, the reason he's not on Twitter because of the takeover. He has said that. He said he was not going to be a participant on Twitter. The thing is that as okay, I got to put on my writer's hat. As a writer, it's when you take on the job as a writer, especially when you're putting out content that everybody's either going to A, listen to, or B, see, you like the writers are putting their heart and soul into these episodes, as well as the actors, producers, but mostly it starts with the writing, right? So they're trying to create a world where their selves, their body is involved in it. So it is one of those jobs where your emotions do come into play. However, with that being said, sometimes you have to have tough skin when you're doing this kind of job. Because I'm going to be honest with you now, I can say this and Casey and them knows this for a fact. When Forever and a Day came out, I was scared to death of what everybody was saying. I was scared that people weren't going to like it. I was afraid that people was going to compare. I didn't think. I want to tell you something right now. I enjoy listening to all you guys, reading your comments about Forever and a Day. I may joke about how Danielle is the same because really she is. But I'm a soap fan just like you guys. And I'm like enjoying the twists and turns of the show. And that's the thing. Like DC said, like, I'm not going to lie, Forever and a Day, when the writers decided to make Connor and Bennett, I was like, oh, for real, this is where we're going to go. Yeah, I mean, and you do need to have some twists. You can't be always predictable. And every writer is predictable. It's sad, but it's true. Ron's, has the strengths of certain things, but he also writes his females into a corner. That's a given. Sometimes when he has to, he will go ahead and do the comedy beat, which was today's episode, because it's like, okay, everything is so serious. So we have to be funny. We have to do something. But some people aren't taking it funny because it involves drugs. And again, how many druggy stories can you tell on Days of Our Lives? You know, like everybody's gotten drugged or raped or whatnot. With Dan and Chris, what they're finally getting the gist of it is the fact that you need to merge the history with your present. Sabrina is about to go on a adventure that reminds old viewers the Luke and Laura stuff, the Ice Princess storyline. But the thing is that, again, you have to also be careful because a lot of these viewers don't even know what the Ice Princess storyline was, you know? So you have to use the flashbacks. You have to use the characters that was a part of the OG storyline to get the new audience in. But Dan and Chris aren't on social media, allegedly. But Ron was always back and forth, back and forth. Josh Griffin was on social media. He locked his account. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, being a writer, you do put yourself on the line. You put your heart and soul into these episodes. And it's like, okay, if people don't like it, yeah, we have the internet to criticize. If we like them, we cheer. If we don't, we jeer. We like, yeah. But it's a crazy, crazy world. Let me see. My mom loves Forever. It's Mom when we listen to it. And the funny thing is that we're cleaning like the fans of the 30s. Thanks. Lakina's not feeling this Ice Princess storyline. She's like, heck no. Like, okay, DC says, like the scene with Elaine in rehab had me tearing up. Y'all got me tearing up over. Oh, wait until you see. DC, I'm just going to tell you right now, you might want to take a stock in Kleenex for the next couple episodes. Could you imagine if Erna Phillips created soaps in the time of Twitter? Erna Phillips would have cussed everybody out. I ain't gonna lie. She would have cussed everybody out. She would have been like, but then they're gonna say Erna Phillips got blocked off of Twitter. She got deleted. She would have been going on everything. Now, the person that I think now, here's the thing. Lee Philibell did have Twitter. She was one of the last to have of the OGs social media. But she was really nice on Twitter. She was really nice on social media. She was sweet. Nobody came after Lee Philibell. But I was happy about that too. Ken Corday, I don't think he has, I don't know. Like Bob Kim was legit at 20 years old. Oh yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is that, and I understand again, times have changed. You know, we have so much going on that we can't sit through certain things. But again, when shows, because here's the main complaint that we have, right? They're taking forever for this storyline. Oh my God, it's been like 6 months and we ain't get to this point yet. Dang. Oh, but then it's like, this storyline is happening too fast. Like, what the heck? Like a couple of months ago, they were doing this. Now we're like, dang, what the heck? There's no ground. There's no middle ground. So I respect those who are still doing the old school stuff, because I always do this. Gone Life fans will feel me on this. It took years before we found out that Philip, like when Philip found out he was not a Spalding. Okay. And that was epic. When Lily found out who her parents was and how she came about, epic. When they went back to Audrey's rape, when Elizabeth was raped and everything, again, you got to be a long-time viewer. Like, there were certain slow builds that we, the audience, was like, oh my God, wait till they find out. And then, bam, like, epic moment. And it's great acting, and it's great pacing, and it's great, you know, everything. And I think, again, we've lost that. We've lost that. And it doesn't help when an actor says, you know, how many episodes they're going to be on, because it's like, okay, we got to get to all of these beats, because if we don't, they're never going to come back, and everything. But again, and I get it, But sadly, that's how the soap goes, you know. Um, yeah, it even took like eight freaking years, man. Or let's see. It took a while about Carly and Sonny and Jason and all that stuff, and Mickey with Mike and y'all tell him. Sarah, you know. Let's see. Candice, this doesn't have anything. Hi, Jeremy, by the way, just sneaking up in here. Like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Candice, this doesn't have anything to do with what you're talking about, but do you know if Paris on Bold and Beautiful was... No, it wasn't. And by the way, real quick, can we all just, take a moment and pray for Paris, St. John, and the family, just the whole family. They've been through so much in the last couple of years. And mental health is not a joke. It needs to be taken seriously. And TMZ, you should be ashamed of yourself because of what you did. And I'm glad you took it down. But yeah, can we just, again, mental health is not something to be mocked or anything. A lot of people are going through a hard time, financially, professionally, relationship wise. And like I said, mental health, especially in the last couple of years, mental health has taken a toll on a lot of people. So on state of mind. After, And by the way, make sure you guys subscribe to State of Mind. Simone is in here. What the? Oh, y'all in here? Y'all been in here for a while? Okay. Brit Soap takes it. Simone. Yes, Simone. Because here's the thing. With Holly Oaks, oh God. See, Simone, okay. Simone just tapped into my Holly Oaks. DC knows I'm going out with this. Holly Oaks is my jam. That and Home and Away. I just dropped my glasses because of this. Holly Oaks tells, they're not afraid to go there. And this is what actually pisses me off about the American soaps. There was a time where all these soaps would push the envelope. They would push it so far that people was clutching their pearls and they were saying, hallelujah, hallelujah. They was preaching. Now it's like people are calling the FCC if somebody shows a little thigh, a little toe, and shake a booty. Yes, General Hospital fans, I'm talking to you guys who called the FCC when Valentine and Anna had sex. What the mess? But on Holly Oaks, I won't spoil it. But I'm not going to say nothing because, oh my God. GH would never do an acid attack. Okay, I got to do the Holly Oaks thing. I'm sorry. Holly Oaks, wait a minute. I'm fanning myself because I'm about to get hot for this. Holly Oaks. Okay, so for those who don't know, my favorite character on Holly Oaks is Mercedes McQueen. And the McQueen family, for those who don't know, has been through hell and back. All I gotta say is go on YouTube and just put in the church blow up. That's all you gotta do. Because that was some effed up stuff. That actually, you know what? That's perfect. That's perfect. That is perfect. Because the whole McQueen story is mom loves her kids and stuff like that. They also did. But there was a certain person who came back in town and we found out that they was related, right? I'm not going to spoil too much. I'm just going to give you like da-da-da-da-da-da. But it was almost a year build up until that promo when you had the McQueens like saying, I don't want to die. I love my mommy. I love them. And then the mom is like, they're all my babies, but I can't pick one. What should I do? Holly Oaks comes on Channel 4. It was like, and I'm going to tell you right now, because I did not see that coming. That was a twist that I didn't see coming, but played it almost a whole year. Also, Holly Oaks did a domestic violence storyline. Again, Young and the Restless did it, but again, people had an outrage because of who it was involved with. Oh my God. No, I'm not going to spoil it. Lakina, I will call. Lakina, you got my phone number. But speaking of paternities, when will B&B finally tell the truth that Eric's? I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so Katie's not Eric's child because that'd be gross. Two, Bill, that's always been the fans' theory about Bill being Kelly's biological child. I would not be surprised if down the line they do revisit that storyline. Just saying. Because it's such a big theory out there. Because everyone remembers that Bill was there at that doctor's and came out of the office, and Stephanie was like, "What are you doing here?" And it was the same doctor that was her OBGYN. So, East Ennis just did a flash forward murder mystery. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Spoil away because I have no clue what you're talking about. Again, call me. Also, was disappointed in Stu not holding James down, his coward self. Like he doesn't know who James is. That's what I said. They need to build the McQueens again. They are the Kramers of England. Well, I used to say, the McQueens, man, and like I was thinking about this too. If they were ever to cross over, like if Mercedes McQueen was to ever come on, it would be General Hospital because her and Carly would get into it. But then again, she would run Phyllis over on Young and the Restless. But then again, she would slap Brooke too. I don't know. But Mercedes McQueen, oh my God, I love her. I just remember the early days of being, it came out Brooke's mom and it was a fair. Yeah, they did. You can see Bill Me Too. This it's in Still's warehouse. Yeah, that's what I said. I can see, but see, no, I actually no. Okay, Mercedes actually could go on all 4 soaps, and that tells you something, folks. Mercedes McQueen is that girl that seriously can go on all these shows and start stuff. Because I can see her on Days of Our Lives starting stuff with Nicole. I can see her on General Hospital starting some mess. I can see her on Young and the Restless starting some stuff. I can see her Bold and Beautiful stealing stuff and stealing rich. I can totally see it, and probably Bill and her would get it on too. Mercedes and Curry would be something else. She would be married. Oh no, she would probably no. Mercedes would not be with Sonny. Oh no. She would try to get into the Quartermains. She would probably even go after Austin or Drew. See, I just dropped the lid like that. I'm telling you that. God, now you got me one. Holly Oaks, good grief. Goldie's getting on my nerves. Not understand why mother would stand. That's because that's her son. And a mother's love is all you need. Isn't that what she said? But he's my baby. He just needs his mother's love. Wasn't that the line? Wasn't that the line she said? It was like, she was like, he's just, what was it? He's just misunderstood or something like that. Like all he needs is a mother's love. He needs my love. He just needs what the line was. Now I'm gonna have to look that up and rewatch it. I'm like, baby. Yeah, he needs your mother's love, all right, but he also needs. I'm telling you, Hollyoaks. You say Goldie would do the same for her 2 boys in a minute. She just punched that girl in the face for playing her 2 boys. True story, folks. Told you, Hollyoaks is that show. Also, I feel bad for Madison, but it's interesting how he, as a teen, had to redeem himself. And you know what? I like Mason, and I agree. I feel bad for him, but see, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I've now decided to do a Holly Oaks YouTube thing because seriously, I feel because I didn't know all of you guys watch Holly Oaks. I mean, DC, I knew you did. Simone, I think I knew. Joy, I didn't even know you watched it. And Lakina, we got to get you on board. Because let me tell you something. Oh, I think I picked my nose. Holly Oaks is that show that I wish Beautiful could be, maybe. Yeah, I know you did, but I'm just saying, I knew you, like I said, I knew you watched Holly Oaks. I just didn't know a lot of you guys are really Holly Oaks fans. This warms my soul, by the way. But the thing is that like Holly Oaks is that show that doesn't see people outside. I forgot it's Friday, people are drinking now. Oh crap. The thing is that Holly Oaks is that show that I wish these American soaps could be, because they handle situations that with really good storytelling. Like the stories on their show, and not for nothing, their promos are the bomb. Like seriously, their promos, when it's their spring or summer or fall or winter promos, because I'm still standing 10 toes deep and say my favorite promo was Black Wedding. It's a nice day for white wedding. And literally like the you had what's called Mercedes going down and then she black tears. Oh my God. Or no, what was homegirl's name that fell out the window? And it was her husband that did it. And spoiler alert, he was in a wheelchair and pushed her out the window. Like it was like, ah! I can't think of her name. And I was just watching a recap. Like the other day, I was watching the Holly Oaks, like they were talking about like it was a girl that she's on TikTok too. And she was like talking about Holly Oaks because she's on strike right now with Holly Oaks because Holly Oaks ticked her off. And I was like, oh, what storyline? And she was like, here's the top 10 storylines that irked my last nerves. And she literally like has a list, and that was like her number 2. Max was number 1. I was like, yeah, I understand that. I get it. Or the siblings. And Holly Oaks fans, you know what I'm talking about when I say the siblings. Oh man. Let me see. On British soaps, the characters feel like real people. That's what's missing. Yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing. It's like not everybody on these soaps are rich. Like, and see, this is where I miss the Lovings, the Ryan's Hopes, All My in One Life, Gone Like Nasty World Turns, because not everybody was freaking rich. Like, not everybody could, live in a luxurious hotel. By the way, everybody's still living in a hotel. But yeah, man. Warner Fox, man. So, but hey, you guys, I'm gonna get ready to go. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh my God, the Tates, yes. No, okay, real quick. So here's another thing too. Sally on Home and Away, for those who watch Home and Away, is the Robin of that show. I just wanted to point that out there. So, all right. Well, you guys, it's been real. I'm gonna get ready to go to sleep. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me for almost 2 hours. I will have a nice weekend. I will have my pictures. Hopefully, I can really meet William Shatner. Hope everything goes okay. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you. Also, DC, I'm going to message you in a few minutes on email and stuff like that. And about Forever and a Day. And thank you guys so much for listening to Forever and a Day. Make sure you are listening to Forever and a Day on all streaming platforms. Also, the email is coming back with another season on JLJ Media. Check that out. Also, Still Party for 1-1 Sunday. Take Two returns back on the 24th. I think I'm done. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you guys so much. Take care. Bye, everybody.